on this computer. Done. You are
Yeah,
now
got it.
being recorded. Oh, you know, in this setting, the woman doesn't say anything. Okay, so Jim, you're literally left here. We got a screen. We'll say slideshow. I don't need to say their gender because you can tell them their gender. And from
But
current
how do I
slide,
start the slide if
yeah,
it's on your
do
thing?
no slide. You don't need to do nothing. There is no slide. It's just one little slide because I haven't sorted out nobody's awards. The idea was on this award, we'll have award. But while people start chatting, I'll just stick their names on and start populating the slides. And then I told
Okay.
Sister Ebster how it works. So the big name comes along. We show the names of the big name. Big name tells us who the big name is and what their work is. And then the big name, then the next slide, Wardie. And Sister Ebster maybe will read out. And Sister Ebster is likely to know these big names. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I need to send it to the doctor email. Oh my God, the most important person. Oh my God, Dr. person. Oh my God, stop share.
No, no, you can keep sharing.
No, I cannot because then it goes into stuff I can't share because it's oh my God, what do I do? Flipping heck, how do I get out of this? Sorry, this is
What do you
awful.
get? What do you want now?
Oh my God, what do I want? What do I want? I need to go to work screen, the other screen. Okay, so cool. You can't see nothing. We're back to
No?
normality. I need to email these details to somebody.
Sure.
Dr. Michael Riley.
Oh yeah, I
Control
know.
F.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know he was in the show, big show, show. Oh, shite. What did I do? What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong. Oh my God. I sent people to attend a meeting where I forgot to send them a poster. Flipping it. Oh my God. This is what happens. Oh, you know what I've done? Nothing.
Oh,
Sometimes too
you sent
much.
people the wrong link.
No, I sent them people. Here it is, and some link. Let me give them some link. So then they can click on a link and get here. Here it is.
So when I tried to log on, it said I had to sign into Zoom.
Yeah, they need to know who you are. So most people's mobile will have Zoom sorted, we hope. Flipping heck,
Well,
please
yes,
work, Allah.
but some
Allah,
people might
please.
not have a.
This text is white. That's why it's not working. Okay, great. So we got this, we got that. Sorry. Allow me. Sorry, I need to because I'm literally sorting an email out. Control C, done, lovely jubbly, done, lovely jubbly. Okay, here it is. And I'll just BCC the important doctor and then give him a call. Important doctor sorted. Who else did I want? Sheikh is sorted. Cool, done. Right. Okay, what do I need to do? Let me get the colleague and we just sit there and wait and see if any. Oh my God. Okay, now I have everything sorted. I can start sending it to other people. I don't have a number. Please attend. Yeah. Okay. So what else do I want? Night. It's not chaos. It is not chaos. Plus, we expect people to turn up when they can. That's part of the deal. So
Was it? Okay.
our plan is Sister Marvina and Sister Jackie should turn up at 7. So I've and Sister Epster, she says she can do an hour of presenting. And then I think like Brother Aki, she probably he's read the message, so that's a good thing. I sent them direct link on mobile and everything. Oh my God, have I sent it to Sister Jackie Walker? Because that's like big name. Have I sent it? Don't know. No, I hadn't sent it. Oh my God. Okay. And then the next thing, Majestic Marvina. Let me just get my colleague, isn't it? Because that in itself starts such an important conversation about people being left behind, which is sort of trade union discrimination, isn't it? Working class people
Yeah.
left behind. Yeah. So we'll just sit and wait. Okay. Within 5 minutes, I should be able to get my neighbor from across the. There's no road. It's just in the cul-de-sac. I live in a close. Is that okay, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Sorry about this. And maybe this is the time to do the screen share so it doesn't look too weird and weird. Share screen. Is it share? Yeah. Yeah, that's good enough, isn't it? Yep.
Yep.
Now I can't. You can hear me, you can see me.
Hi, guys.
Hi there, Ebony. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Jim?
Good, 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 good. So Aisha's gone off to do something. I'm not quite sure what at the moment.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm,
You still on strike, are you?
our next strike is going to be on the 10th. It was meant to be on the 3rd, but
Right.
the RMT decided to change it
Oh,
because of copy day.
oh,
So, yeah.
well,
So,
okay.
yeah, so they decided to change it to the week after.
Right. Okay. Okay. So UCU are going to be on strike soon. We don't know quite when. They have their decision making next week.
Yeah. Is that down to like teachers' pay?
So it's two things. There's two different strike ballots. So one of it is on casualisation and pay and conditions, and the other one is on the pensions. And apparently, the pensions, the USS has completely given in and said yes, they're going to do exactly what we want. So
Yeah.
that looks good. Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing, Jim, because then we'll all be on the screen. So this is my colleague,
Hello.
Christine.
Hi,
Hi,
Christine.
You've
Christine.
never been on a Zoom meeting, have you? Christine has never, ever been in a Zoom meeting. And to
Well,
me, that is
I,
exciting. Do you find this
I,
exciting? I don't know, yeah.
you haven't lived yet.
You haven't lived yet
It's
till
all
you've
the
been...
rage now these days. It's all the rage.
Aisha, if you've got headphones on, how can Eileen hear?
Thank you for the
Can Eileen?
intelligence, Professor. It does help, doesn't it?
Do you
What
need
do
to
I
have
do?
your external
Yeah.
speakers on? Eileen, she was. We're talking to her, but not to you.
They can't hear.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
We
now
can hear you.
We can't hear them. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now we
yeah.
can hear you because I had to like make sure everything is safe. Now you guys will be loud. So we got a really cool Sister Ebster and nobody else, but that is in itself Black History Month. And then it gets worse. My slide changing. You know what's going to happen? We'll just tell the people what their name is and they're going to get an award. And that's it, instead of all the slide changes.
Yeah.
Because we're more impressive
Well,
screen than slides, isn't it?
so your sister there, Eileen. Is it Eileen? Is it?
Introduce yourself, Christine.
Christine.
Exactly.
Who you are.
Christine. Sorry, Christine.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm very good at that. I'm Christine. I'm yeah, certain age.
We all are.
Oh, brother Kish is here. Alfie, you must be logged on to Zoom.
Right.
Log to Zoom. Please use SOAS. So everybody, this is actually SOAS UCU co-sponsored. So a very prestigious. Jim, you can call SOAS prestigious, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
prestigious.
top
Yeah,
10.
I'd say prestigious, but that's
Oh,
okay.
you
You
know
can
the
say
Google
prestigious.
lady, you know, we're talking about races and stuff. Google lady is really good at helping people like me pronounce English words. Brother Akish,
Right.
show us your face. It's all about the faces. See, I'm dressed for a reason today because Sheikh is coming. Oh, I must get our Muslims. You know what? I'm going to just. Oh, I know. Oh, Sister Jackie Walker has just replied to me. I know, dear, most esteemed sister, Jackie Walker. Most esteemed sister.
So Christine, what are you still working? Are you where are you working at?
I'm not working.
you
No, I've been
No?
signed off sick.
Okay, but you used to work at SOAS, no? Where
No.
did you work?
She's my
No?
neighbor.
Oh, your neighbor.
I've
Okay.
never had an English woman in my room ever. Oh, it's a
Okay.
first. I have never
Yeah,
Wow.
had another women. And I've had different races, possibly not.
Hey, kick.
Brother Akish, he's probably traveling. Brother Akish, Sister Epster says hi to you.
Hi, Keish. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
It's Akish. Yeah, the sh is the C. It's I think it's
Yeah.
an African name, isn't it? Yeah. Oh my God. Jim, I could be potentially done for. I'm very good Muslim woman, by the way. How do you deal, Jim, working with young people? Because you need to be, because I'm their mum's age, I need to keep boundaries, but I'm very good at, like, I think you would say Larissa Kennedy one, I was very good at, I think one of
Yeah,
the.
hello. Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, thank you. Sorry for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Akish.
Yeah, how are
Good.
you?
Good,
Everyone
good. How are
fine?
you?
Yeah, very well,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
Good.
So,
So, yeah, go ahead, Akish.
oh no, I'm just listening. So I'm just
Okay.
I'm still with the family. Just one second. Yeah, it was on
So
mute. That's why Emita was saying hello.
Yeah, Aisha asked me how I deal with young people, and I would say I treat them as if they are people. I treat them as if they're intelligent people, equal to everything that everyone else is. So there's no difference between young and old. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has skills. Everyone can do certain things. Some can do things better than others. I just say, look, you get on with what you can do better, and I get on with what I can do, and together we can solve a lot of problems. That's the only way, really, that working together is the way to do it. So young people are very, very good at certain things. They're good at doing lots of things I can't do.
I think, Jim, let's kick off while all the key personnel are here with the trade union racism,
Yeah.
because Birmingham Uni only wants 15-minute excerpts. So who shall we
Okay.
go with first? Yeah, you start the ground, I guess. Because at least
Okay.
3 of us are here. You're the host. We got Sister Epster, Brother Kishmi.
You're the host.
No, you are the host. You're the one. So agenda item 1. Oh, shall I get our poster ready? Agenda item 1 is TU racism. You're the host, chair for that. Black History. Once we start getting big names to give awards, Sister Epster is the presenter. Sister Epster, you all know most of the names, isn't it? And if you don't know,
Yeah,
you
I've got
ask
the
them to tell
names.
us. You're just ask them to tell you who they are, isn't it? Literally, and you do your hosting.
Yeah.
Jim, start us off, who we are and what we're about, and then we'll
Okay.
stories.
I'm not sure that I've seen well, I'm not sure that I know what I'm doing, but then that's
Shall I?
usually the
Yeah,
case.
this is my
So,
fault. Shall I show you the agenda then? Maybe copy paste the
yes,
agenda.
in the chat.
Yes. Yeah, brilliant. Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I know that I'm chairing part of the meeting, and Ebony is chairing the other part of the meeting,
So,
but I'm not quite sure which order it is. I think you're first, is it,
no,
Ebony?
there is no order, Jim, because
Why don't you go first, Jim?
Okay, right. So this meeting, I mean, the whole purpose of this Zoom meeting is about looking at racism in the unions and looking at the ways that the unions can tackle racism. I think what's happened over the past years is that we've grown very accustomed to some of the things which are originated many years ago and which we didn't realize were racist, but are actually extremely discriminatory towards people of color, people of other women, and people of other faiths. And so therefore, we have to think about how we can include them and give the same opportunities to women, people of color, and people of other faiths as is normally expected. And in old white men like me have expectations of always being able to do anything. And the same expectations should be had by young women, by people with different faiths, people of different colors and races. And that's what we're all about. So this month is Black History Month, and I think we're going to kick off with a 15-minute video. Is that right, Aisha? So we've got a 15-minute video outlining some of the achievements in the past under Black History Month, achieved by people of renown across, and people who are less well known across that. So, Aisha, are you going to share this video, or?
Also, Jim, I've just realized I haven't messaged Brother Glenhart because there are people who are not in the group need to come. I just remembered that. Plus, if you imagine I post it on SOAS and stuff, people might come. You never know.
Okay, so
let me keep that.
This meeting is being recorded. So
steps that start speaking.
Yeah.
Because she can also talk about trade union racism as well.
Yeah. So do we want to see the recording first, or do we want to start with?
We are the recording, and there is this recording. Yeah. So we are telling about trade union racism at whatever layers you want. We did. So me and Russ was speaking. What did I tell Russ? Russ.
So we got.
You can do whatever you want, but Russ gave some help. Why isn't Russ here? I want to see Russ one day on YouTube. Because one day Russ is going to die, and with him, his legacy will be gone.
Okay. I wouldn't concentrate too much on that, but I would say, one day we're all going to die, so therefore that's not so bad. What we should be doing is saying, what can we do in the meantime to ensure that the world is a better place when we do die? Because that's what we can do, I think.
Oh my God, I forgot. Russ gave me things. One is cultural, and another one, then he texted. So Russ. Oh, this is awful. For example, Brother Mark Wordsworth, I'd have to get him direct. This has not been the easiest of days, and I've not been able to do the thing that I needed to do, but it's all right.
Okay.
Okay, so what he said, number one, non-encouragement, selection or promotion for position, reps to GS meaning General Secretary. Quality of representation, do TUs address Black issues? Let me paste it all onto chat. Yeah.
Right.
We paste it on WhatsApp and then chat.
So we've got three unions, three different unions represented here. We have UCU, which is the University and College Union, which represents higher education and further education. We have Akish, who is from Unison and is a rep in King's College, and he has fought very hard to get to be a rep there. And then we have Ebony, who is in OMT and who has represented a number of different people within the union, and is now sort of like respected for her work in combating racism. Okay, so I'm not sure whether.
Sorry, Jim, I think you're mixing me. I don't represent anybody. I'm a member. I think you've got there's a description of Mel Mullings, because she represents people.
Okay, sorry,
That's okay.
I'm getting people muddled up. Sorry.
That's all right.
But you are very important, Sister Ebony, isn't it? Because you are a chair of an outside structure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm chair of the Black Solidarity Committee. So I chaired the online, the Zoom meetings at least. So yeah.
Okay. Can we see your faces, please? Your face, because well, you haven't got faces. Because it's all about power of the face, the truth, and the voice. To us, it's just as unions tokenize us, which means they stick the brown and black faces. It's also for us to show our face, because then when you see a face, the more you see, if it's a video, the more you get a sense of the person, isn't it? And end of the day, we built relationships here through pretty much Zoom.
We started off, which is what, 18 months, 2 years ago now, Aisha, we started off by saying we wanted to hear people speak. We wanted to
No,
hear the
Jim,
voices.
no, we started about 2 years ago and I said, Jim, I want to go to EDI meeting. I'm no longer a Unison rep. Will you help Jim and UCU? And that was saying, UCU is not going to help me, but this Jim, nice old guy, Professor Mann, he might help me because he was the man that
But the purpose, okay.
It's not about Jim, it's about black people.
Your agenda was to achieve certain things which would help you represent other people. But the agenda we sort of started out with was to say we wanted to hear people. We wanted to hear the stories of racism within trade unions because it wasn't known at the time. And of course, there was lots and lots of cases that came through there. Now we're saying not just we want to hear them, we want to see them. We want them to go forward and become the forefront of a new way of solidarity for workers, so that we don't just sort of like expect old white men like me, but we expect everybody to have a chance and the opportunity to lead and take forward the struggle. So, do we have particular issues around the sort of like racism that's being experienced now?
Me personally, I don't have a problem, but that's not the point. The point
Right.
is that I mean, lately there hasn't been much talk of, you know, the goings on in RMT with regards to the blackface. That's still being swept under the carpet. And
Yeah.
you know, nothing's been done or said about it, unfortunately. I don't want to say too much about, you know, about a particular thing because I'm not quite sure how much information I can give or not give.
Yeah.
But what I will say, and I will reiterate that, you know, with regards to the blackface, nothing's been done about it to the point where, you know, the person involved hasn't really, to my knowledge, hasn't really been reprimanded in any way. They're still, you know, doing their job. They're still going about the business. I don't know if he's been spoken to. I don't know if there's been any form of awareness that's been offered, and even if so, that what difference would that make? So I don't know. But from what I do understand as well is that, you know, I mean, as unions go, and that's not just RMT, but unions on the whole, across the scope, you know, there seems to be, you know, like the heads of the union, a lot of the unions seem to be predominantly white middle class men, which can be a problem and cannot be a problem depending on their mindset. You know, recently, you know, we've just had like the first ever black rep, not rep, but position
on the national executive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was quite recent. That's Glenn. But and that's and you know, look how long the RMT has been in existence. You know, so you know, so it does. So it seems as though, you know, and I'm not just saying, you know, just put black people in positions because of the sake of it. If they're good enough and they've shown that they're good, that we're good enough, then, you know, give them the chance.
Yeah.
So so yeah, but with regards to, you know, if we're talking about, you know, racism in the workplace, then you know, that's got nothing to do with it. We're strictly talking about unions. I'm not quite sure about other unions, but, you know, but, you know, I hear that other unions have their issues. and it will be very interesting to, you know what's happening, or going to happen, or hasn't happened, or what's been said with regards to the perpetrators there. But if we're talking about racism on a whole, it's widespread. I mean, it's so widespread to the point where we're talking about, children's hair in schools. So I don't want to veer too much away from the actual question, but, with regards to, unions, what in the RMT at least, I would hazard, there seems to be a problem with race, and certain individuals need to be held accountable with regards to, what is actually. I'm not at Unity House. I don't work there. I've never even stepped foot in Unity House, but it'll be very interesting to see, what it's like under the current structure.
Yeah. I would totally agree with you that it is easier for the people in power at the moment, the people who are in the top echelons of unions, to sweep the matter under the carpet because they don't want to deal with it. And that, I think, has happened in many of the unions. And as you say, also, the racism is present in society, and the unions are reflecting that and are continuing to perpetrate that racist attitude throughout in their workings. And I think the only way to do this, and which is why I do admire the way that Aisha has done some things here, is to call it out and call it by the name that it is, which is racism. Because if we don't, then we are going to be continuing in the same way for many other years to go. So that calling it out is aimed at trying to enable an awareness of racism. And I think there are a few people who have acknowledged this, but majority of people still say, it's not racism, it is just something else. And whatever that else is, it's not, it doesn't really, it's sweeping it under the carpet. It's not answering any of the questions. Yeah.
Brother Akish, show us your face. Maybe that will inspire our young student. Power of the face, the voice. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam.
And your face, your esteemed face, a brilliant face.
I'm in the kitchen anyway, so.
Even better. Show us your kitchen. I know your house is lovely, brother.
It's busy.
I know his house, by the way, because it's on Zoom, not because I know him.
Hi.
Oh, brother Akish, you're in your nice shirt. Good. I always tell my people, dress well. You got money, show money. I will be getting a new bookshelf, people.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Akish. You're at home, are you?
Hi, Akish.
You're at home today.
Hi, but how are you? You okay?
Fine, thanks. You at home?
I'm at home. Yeah, I'm at home. Yeah. So how are you doing? You okay?
Yeah.
Look like you're inside the bed.
Yes.
On the bed. Yeah, that's good.
Brother Akish, you have not been in enough African Zoom. This is Sister Ebster's UK bed, and then she's got a Jamaican bed, which reminds me of back home. Are you going soon, Sister Ebster?
Hopefully some point next year. Yeah.
Early part of next year. And then you a wooden bed.
Yes.
Jamaica,
yeah.
Where?
Kingston.
Is that
no, it's good. You go ahead, Akish. Go ahead, Akish.
Oh yeah. Today is the topic of racism, is it? What happened?
Yes, we're highlighting the fact that unions are reflection of society and that they are racist as much as anywhere else. And there's a lot of it about
giving awards as well.
Yeah.
The problem is we haven't got any big name to give you award. Don't worry. Brother Glenroy will join at 7. We got other big names, potentially
Yes. What I can say, race is a tough word anyway, as we know. And sometimes people are shy to say either you're racist or you're a discriminating person or whatever. But actually, as I said before, the union and the way they, well, I mean, the whole entire union in the United Kingdom, when it formed before, it was a minority of colored people were here in this land. So within a period of times when the African came in, Asian came in, our brothers in Caribbean, Jamaican, or other cities in the Caribbean, they came in, built up this UK that is today called UK. So when they were in a process of working hard working, digging underground, some of them, they're not being paid. To say that we can say always is slave work, they've been, UK when built by slave laborers, we can say it this way. And no one government acknowledged that. And last time we were in a meeting of King College, we told King College are partners of King College, and some of them, some of partners, they pay King College money from a slave. They were slave masters, and I don't. Some King College directors, they don't like that kind of thing. But we told them, me and other guys called Olivia. So we told them King College was built by slave laborers. If not enslaving physically, it was a master who dealing with the slave paid King College as a partner of dealing with. And it's happened to every university in the United Kingdom. We know that because I told them that when you work in particular factory, you have to search a background of the of the company you're working with. It's not just a matter of just a work and going to work. You need to search a background of the factory you're working, whether any field you're working with, or any department. So we know that. That's why sometimes they're celebrating the guy called Desmond Tutu, who passed away in South Africa. We are liberator. Yeah. So the race is actually give me a second.
Okay. Yes. So
the racism actually is built in that time within the union. They didn't absorb the minority to come in to lead the union. Even today, they don't want it. They want to see a white color face. Sorry, Jim. People like Jim or others. And when they go to the meeting, they want to see all of them that seem look like. And then it's happened when you see this a new prime minister and Lisa Truss, Lisa Truss is already failed, but this guy should won before Lisa Truss. But obviously, because of racism, they couldn't let this guy to win the election, But now they knew that they failed. There's no way they have to bring Rishi Sunak.
He had to do twice as much. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what happened. The union cannot accept now they failed because everything has a time limited. You work today very hard. When you work very hard, there's other people can come learning everything you were working very hard. You don't think that you're going to produce a hard worker. No, you might produce a lazy one. So now we have a lazy people who dealing with the union now. Even they cannot run. When you tell them run, they cannot run. So they stick there. They don't want to color people to take over. It's every universities, every parties is happening here in United Kingdom. So I think they're still in 16th century. We are 21st century. So we need to check. Because people like me, who've been working here hard, paying a tax since I came here, are paying a tax. There's no other country apart from this country that contribute economically. So why not to let me to join? No, what I'm saying is not particular myself, but other people, Yeah, I'm talking about the general color people, Why they don't give them a chance to do that, to do their job properly? We're not against any law in this country. We are not against any law of union. We're not against, we just want to improve equality, a pay gap, a different, what I call discrimination between workers, class working, you know, a second class, because in workplace there are some people call the second class, yeah, pay less than your colleagues, doing a hard work than your colleagues, job load. So all these things we find at the workplace. Why? Because when you ask the union cannot do anything, because union, when they go to the meeting, they will not telling the directors, or because directors look like them or management look like them, you know. So people like me, when we go to the meeting, we tell them point blank, you know. So racist is there. So how can we stop that the racist in those places? We need to bring all minorities, those who can speak out, to come to talk, not because you know how to read and write, but you have to be bold enough to say this is not, this is wrong, and this is right, you know. But if you stay and play it safe, there's no playing it safe anymore. You have to say, because to save your generation, to save next generation coming. Yeah, people like Amira in Birmingham University, we need to tell them that this is your chance now. You can be a prime minister like anyone else, you know. And how can we do it? We need to start it from now, the old people and generation who are in front of her, you know. So,
yeah,
every person, or every color, or every white person who is in the workplace who doesn't like a racist have to speak out. Have to say this is right, this is wrong. And I proposal this kind of called when you go to work, I told some of my colleagues, I said, when you go to work and you fill the form, they say either you're white, you're Asian, black people. These are kind of things we need to eliminate in it, because this is where you can identify people, you know? Yeah. And this is we start to complain about those kind of things. We need to stop this racism. We need to when we stop it, we need to make the United Kingdom a better place to stay. Better, it's a safe place. And it's an old country which is colonized all the world. For example, when I say all the world, might be 50% or 60% was colonized by British. So they should recognize that this is their part of the country. It might be a second country for them, but they cannot do any harm things for this country. They want to improve their life for themselves and from a citizen of the United Kingdom. So racism need to stop now, wherever might be, racism. In football, in wherever, even in your house, we need to stop
even
it.
In trade unions.
Yeah, even trade. And this is what we talk about. Trade union is a massive place where 90% of racism is there. It's just discriminating people, isolating some others to say, oh, this is a minority, what I call it, league. Yeah. Yeah, like you say, Unison have a black member, which is they have their own thing. And when I asked them last time, why should you do a black member? Oh, because we want to tackle black issues. No, why you should not be a leader of the union? As a black person, you should be a president, whether you're Asian, because the black is generally Asian and black Africans. So why we should not take over the union? You say, oh, no, because we are very minority. No, there's no minority. It's ideas. Unions like a political party. We debate over ideas. The better has ideas, the better to take over, not because of color. You know? Yeah. Thank you. I will stop from here because I got a lot of people.
Okay. I can see you got your kids there. Great. That's fantastic. So as you say, we're building a better place, and people say, but I'm not racist. You have to say there's no such thing as not racist. You either have to be anti-racist, building a better future, or you're a racist. And that's the distinction which I think people don't appreciate, in that if you're not actually doing things against racism, you're part of the racist system that is already there. And I think that's the biggest misunderstanding by white people, that in thinking that just if they do nothing, that's enough. It's not enough. You have to be actively anti-racist in order to be able to show that you're doing something better for the whole of the community. Okay, Aisha, do you want to introduce some? I see there's new people come.
Yeah, Sister Andrea, do you want to say anything on racism within the union? If not, and you're waiting for the ward bit, I'll get your order, Brother Glenn Hart. So do let us know how you want to go. But your order has definitely agreed towards you, that's for sure.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on my phone, so my camera's a bit dodgy. But
Okay.
yeah, I guess I work with Unite the Union on the housing workers branch. And I guess I found that the workers that I've represented are underpaid, given harsher working conditions, and are also more harshly punished when it comes to like grievances. So yeah, I've raised it up in my branch, and I just get like fobs off really, and not supported with like bringing it up to legal. So like you have to have like evidence to support whatever you're bringing forward. So for example, you need to have someone that's a witness, or you need someone yeah, that's just seeing what's gone on, if you see what I mean, like the pattern of behavior. So I just feel like, yeah, that more needs to be done on tackling racism within the workplace, and yeah, we can't allow it to continue because it's causing mental health issues like depression and anxiety, and we're also losing Black workers, in particular women as well, and also pensioner women as well. They seem to target them a lot as well and try and push them out of the job. So yeah, that's an issue that I've come across a lot in housing. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've seen. And then yeah, overall, I guess like in higher up roles in it, you're not seeing a lot of Black workers, but in places like London, where you've got a lot of Black members in branches and they're just not pushing through in the higher ranks and stuff and representing our voices. So yeah, and I basically think that the TUC are not that great either. I think they're kind of ridiculous, to be honest. I see that there's a lot of like training and stuff, but there's not a lot coming from them in terms of tackling like racism within the workplace, or making it a priority issue to stamp out. So yeah, that's it from me really.
And of course, getting people elected into positions, starting off at the shop floor, starting then at each level, is a long process, and the rules are stacked against people changing that system to make it easier. Okay, thanks, Andrea. Aisha, who else is?
I think Alfie is one of the most impressive. So Alfie, if you don't want to use the power of the face, how about power of the voice? Assalamu alaikum. Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah. Alfie, do you have
inshallah, we'll see you.
A few words first.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Or are you indisposed? If you yeah, good.
Hi. Sorry, I just had to wait a moment. So I'm from South London originally.
Can we see your face? My South Londoner young brother. Sister Epstein is also South Londoner. Woohoo.
Hello. I'm from South London. I'm of mixed descent. My dad's mixed Grenadian and my mum's English. I study at SOAS, and I'm here in the meeting because there are broader societal issues with racism that quite often infiltrate themselves into trade unions And at the moment, there's been big issues with union racism, and specifically inaction from, well, not necessarily inaction, just inadequate action from the TUC, because the TUC's anti-racism campaign hasn't gone far enough, and it hasn't been sufficient to deal with the problems. I think it's important that I think it's a good thing that now it's starting to be addressed. Now it's starting to be raised, but there's a lot of work to do.
I was most impressed with you regarding your knowledge of what happened with Unison election. So if you want to talk us through what happened with the Unison election in 2020, that would be wonderful. And how do you have that knowledge, and why I'm guessing you're just barely 18, 19, whatever, I think 18. Talk us through why trade union captures your attention more. Obviously, your parents have introduced you to it. You do see lots of old people in it, and also about your London Solidarity Committee that you have, what work you do, and how you came to meet Sister Aisha and her mom.
I met you guys at a protest afterwards, and you guys spoke about union racism and problems with unions in general, and unions do have problems with racism, which I think we're all aware of, so I won't dive into that. But on the Unison point, I will talk about. So in 2020, the previous secretary of Unison stood down, and there were some candidates. There was Roger Mackenzie, who was endorsed by the Black Unison Conference, and several Labour left kind of MPs. There was Paul Holmes, who was a white Englishman, but also very principled, anti-racist, anti-capitalist. And then there was the victorious candidate, who was very much centrist, had been part of the union bureaucracy for years, and I think was the deputy leader of the deputy general secretary of Unison beforehand. And unfortunately, and not by a majority, by only a plurality, I think of about 40%, the centrist candidate, she was victorious, unfortunately. And she went on to be the Unison leader. And Roger Mackenzie, a black Englishman endorsed by the Labour left, he went on to be the Assistant General Secretary, but is since no longer Assistant General Secretary, and I think is currently an editor at the Morning Star, and quite a good editor, in my opinion. And I think the problems in Unison, I don't know to what extent. I don't know enough about the history of Unison to know to what extent that's a problem within Unison, but it's certainly a problem within wider society, and it's certainly a problem that is often ignored by certain leaders on the left, not necessarily by people on the left, but by leaders on the left, most definitely. And that's anti-blackness, Islamophobia, other issues such as transphobia, homophobia. Just generally speaking, there's been a lot of class reductionism on the union leadership. And obviously, I believe in worker struggles, and I believe in class struggle. I do believe it is a primary struggle, but that means listening and including and empowering the voices of all people and fighting for liberation of racially oppressed peoples, fundamentally, who often in this country do make up the working class. So yeah, and obviously, more broadly speaking, the UK immigration policy has gotten increasingly more racist over the past 50 years, and has been particularly bad within the past 3 to 5 years, and unfortunately, Suella Braverman has returned as Home Secretary. So I think we're all very concerned about that.
Yeah.
But I think Ebony wants to go. So
yeah, Ebony, add your voice to that. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to add on to what Alfie said. Basically, you know, when you have a government that when you have a government with Black and Asian faces in it, I mean, you know, we're supposed to be, you know, all happy and clappy and stuff like that. And I keep saying to people, you know, irrespective of what color the prime minister is, I don't care if he was like, you know, Jamaican Guyanese like I am. Doesn't make any difference. A Tory is a Tory is a Tory is a Tory is a Tory. Okay. And the Tories have a way of upholding racism. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in the Labour Party, because the Labour Party have their own issues with race as well. But we are governed by a pack of racists, and that includes the Black and Asian ones. You know, when you have a Home Secretary who was sacked a week ago, but then was reinstated less than a week later by Rishi Sunak, who has dreams and aspirations of, it's her dream to see a plane full of people going to Rwanda. That's dangerous. And unfortunately, in quite a lot of industries, not just the unions, but you know, you have a lot of people of color in industries who uphold racism, you know, who act as agents to racists. You know, it's like the slave master, pushing out, the Black person to get all the information from the Black person to give back to the slave master. And that's the kind of government that we have, as far as I'm concerned. When you have people who are throwing their race under the bus, like Kwasi Kwarteng, like Kemi Badenoch, it's dangerous. And unfortunately, you know, because we have that, we have people who are racist who are actually leeching off of that, because it makes them feel comfortable. It makes them feel comfortable that we have Black people in government and Asian people in government who are upholding racism. And that obviously feeds into industries as well. And that includes unions. So, you know, we have a battle on our hands with regards to racism. We have a long battle, and it's going to take a hell of a, you know, people say, oh, well, you know, maybe, you know, they're uneducated. These people know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're saying. They know exactly what they mean. So all the education in the world isn't going to eradicate, unless, of course, you know, they're willing to, unless, of course, they make mistakes and they want to learn and they're ready to ask questions and stuff like that. But okay, fine. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you have people who are hardwired and they take that into a working environment, but then what some people tend to do is they tend to hide it very well. They're very good at that. But outside of the workplace, they're completely different people, because I don't have to deal with people who look like me. So, you know, like I said, you know, we have a long battle on our hands, where racism is concerned. As I pointed out earlier, you know, we have hair, you know, we have racism over hair. And that's not just in schools, that, you know, that's probably, not even probably, that's more than, well, in workplaces as well, where Black people are told you have to straighten your hair to look acceptable. You know, we're having children in schools being told you can't express part of your culture, i.e. Afro hair, unless it's because it's threatening, or it looks aggressive, or it looks messy. If that's not racism, somebody better tell me what it is. I'll leave it there for now.
No, absolutely. I'm going to say a couple of words and then over to Alfie again. But I just wanted to say that it's all about intersectionality. It's not just racism by itself. It's racism. It's gender inequalities. It's Islamophobia and sentiments against other people of other religions. But most of all, it's about class. It's about keeping the disadvantaged and the vulnerable people in positions where they cannot express themselves and cannot take their causes and support their causes and make their lives better, because that is as much as anything class, as well as racism and gender inequalities and all the other intersectionalities that happen there. Okay, Alfie, do you want to?
We also got Jim. We also got Sister Shamama. She's from Hounslow Masjid. She's a fantastic. Maybe we should hear from her. Sister, are you okay with showing your face? I always believe in the power of face, the truth, the voice.
Yeah, just give me a minute, please.
MashaAllah. Jim.
Okay. While you're waiting for Sister Shama, Alfie had his hand up, and I spoke over him, and I hope I haven't taken his.
No, it's fine. I can go now.
Okay.
I think the point that Ebony made about texturism and anti-blackness in education is really important. It's more common than I think people think. Black students being subject to adultification, black students being harassed, being discriminated against when it comes to behavioral policy, but also I think the class-based oppression also comes into play here as well, because where are these issues of racism, of texturism, of gender-based violence happening the most? Contrary to what perhaps some people in the media want you to believe, it's not actually happening in inner city rough schools. It's happening in private schools. It's happening in Eton. It's happening in fucking Harrow. It's happening in all of these places which are supposed to be, the places of propriety. And the reality is that the establishment in this country, and just generally speaking, the upper class, is incredibly reactionary, and these messages that are being sent to the general public are coming from the rich and powerful, essentially.
Okay, excellent. Sister Shamama.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Hello to everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me for this event. Actually, yes, all of you are
Has Sister Shamama frozen, or is it me? I think we've frozen. Oh.